TSNE, The Season Never Ends, is the engine behind your favorite sports bar fantasy site. If your bar doesn't have it, send them our way so you can benefit from seamless draft day setups. No back and forth with staff. Just scan a QR code, pick your league spot, and customize your food and drink offers. TSNE offers quality of life tools like a mock drafter that improves each year by learning your league, automated team management if a player quits mid-season, and game time injury replacements before kickoff. With more league types and role options than any other platform, TSNE is everything you wish your fantasy platform had.
Hey everyone, this is Scal from the Greatest Team on Paper podcast. Are you looking for an in-depth fantasy football advice? Perhaps some weekly NFL betting picks? Or simply a fun conversation about everyone's favorite sport in the world, football? Look no further than the Greatest Team on Paper. We are three lifelong friends who have been living and breathing football for more than 20 years. We break down everything from tough start-sit decisions on a weekly basis, in-depth analysis of player performances, game recaps, and everyone's favorite segment, our famous G-Top Locks of the Week. Whether you want to ride with us on our picks or just want a fan's perspective of the games, the G-Top fellows have you covered. You can listen to us at The Greatest Team on Paper on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon platforms. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram as well at The Greatest Team on Paper. Help us help you. We'll see you there.
Yo, you. Yeah, you. The one still debating whether to start Patrick Mahomes this week or bench him for that rando backup QB no one's heard of. What are you doing? Stop scrolling and listen up. You know what you need in your life? More Black and Tan Sports. That's right, your one-stop podcast for fantasy football chaos, NFL hot takes, and the occasional life lesson you didn't know you needed. We're on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, basically anywhere you can get your podcasts. So hit that subscribe button like you're smashing a waiver wire pickup for CMC. And don't forget to drop us a 5-star review. Why? Because it's not just our egos, it helps the algorithm show us some love. And let's be honest, you could use more good karma for that trade offer you just sent out. You're also going to want to join the party on social media because we're dropping fire takes all week long. On X, formerly known as Twitter, we're not here to discuss Elon. We're at Black and Tan Pod. Facebook, Black and Tan Sports Pod. You know, for all you, I still love my mom's memes people out there. Instagram, we got you at Black and Tan Sports Pod. Where else can you get weekly fantasy tips and questionable Photoshop edits of my co-host Dwayne's face? Oh, and YouTube, Black and Tan Sports. Subscribe there too, unless you're scared to see what fantasy football legends actually look like. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe, follow, engage. Otherwise, your fantasy team might just get cursed with a season-ending injury. Just saying. Black and Tan Sports, for the laughs, the takes, and the wins. Subscribe now, or you'll regret it later.
Black and Tan Sports, we keep it real. Nick and Wayne breaking down the deal. Big points, bigger stories, you already know. Fantasy football with that life flow. Brought to you by The Season Never Ends, where the game never stops, and neither do we, my friends. From touchdowns to hot takes, we cover it all. Laughs, life, and football, we stand tall. Tune in, lock in, it's time to roll. Black and Tan's taking over, but we're on the roll. We're on the roll.
All right. Let's do it. We're live and direct coming from the
We are.
jungle.
Now, we always say, we start off every show and we go, we're live, but we're like, we're not really live. I'll tell you right now.
We are live.
Today is the day we
on.
are live.
Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Black and Tan.
It
live
feels
from the
good.
Studio, Black and Tan Studios, Hollywood, California.
Yeah, the Philadelphia area.
Philadelphia
You couldn't catch me in Hollywood, You couldn't catch me out in California.
We live from the Link, bro. We downstairs in the basement of the Link.
Yeah, we're in a jail of Lincoln Financial right now.
Yeah, they put a
That's
new
where we're
jail
at.
in over the weekend for us just to, to broadcast from.
They don't want us live on them loose doing the tailgate is what it is.
Nah,
That's exactly what it is.
Scared of our talent. Scared of our talent. How are you doing, man? How was your day? Everything good?
Everything was good. Everything's really good. Everything's going really smooth today. I got a haircut. I know you can't see because I have this beautiful hat on, but
I mean, I like that hat, but I didn't see a haircut.
Well,
maybe later.
Maybe later, big boy. I only saved that for you.
Appreciate it.
Listen, we have a great show lined up for you. As always,
Absolutely.
we're always going to hear from Herbie's Hail Marys, of course.
My man, 50 grand.
Mr. Green, who, hey,
listen,
I stopped betting him because I lost so often.
And this was the one.
And this was the week.
You should have stuck with
your boy went undefeated.
Yeah, he did. 5 for 5.
He did.
Congratulations.
Finally
did it.
It's about time. It's only been, I think it was 10 weeks or 11 weeks.
10. We got him in. But yeah, week 2 and 3. So yeah, 10 weeks.
He always kept it like in the upper echelon though. So it wasn't like anything bad. But,
absolutely.
You know, if you're throwing that parlay on and you're going, you know, you're trying to go 5 for 5, and
he called it this week, bro. He did his thing.
Yep. So
I guess it wasn't that hard.
We're gonna talk a little bit of Eagles as always. There's a lot of turmoil right now going on, but they kind of shut that down a little bit today. And obviously, we're going to talk about all that with the AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, and Brandon Graham nonsense.
Absolutely.
As always, we're going to go over Dwayne's top 5 power rankings.
Woo woo.
That's it. That's the man right there. And then our up and coming pick, our bum picks, our sleeper picks. You know, the fancy. Listen, and as we've said in weeks previous, if you haven't figured it out yet, you're lost. You're not in the playoffs.
Right. We're not going to get you to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's not going to, we're not, listen.
We're going to try.
For the people who are just here for streaming and everything like that, we're the beginner cast here.
Yes.
If you want some more in-depth information about picks and things like that, specifically with the Commissioner's Cup and their league, then you got to check out G-Top. You got to check out the Greatest Human Paper and make sure you guys subscribe to all of us. But
like, subscribe, and watch.
Let's take a second here, Dwayne. Let's take a second here.
What we got?
I just want to show some love for El Wingador and his team and Wing Pole. Okay.
Yes.
We got to hang out with those guys last weekend. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. Everybody is so nice.
Appreciate
it was at Cheerleaders. The hospitality that they've shown has been so great. So I am so excited. Listen, if you want to eat in this contest, if you want to be crowned as Wing Pole champion,
I think it's going to be a belt this year.
Then you need to come out this weekend on Sunday and purchase an eater's ticket to show that you're serious, okay? Because we're all about the serious athletes.
They're
and
bringing
if you think these eaters aren't serious athletes, then you're nuts. And then Swing said, they're bringing it back.
The Wing
they
Bowl
want to bring it back.
So wonderful. They want to bring it back, but now it's called the Wing Pole. So Wing Bowl has been trademarked. We got to call it Wing Pole.
And they do it at Cheerleaders, and I'll tell you what, it is a good time. It has the same spirit. It has the same spirit as the olden days, and we love that about everything. So listen, we want you to come out and eat.
It's a good time.
We want you to show that you want to be there. Okay, so
we can come and spectate. You can just come in and watch.
You can go to
a great time.
You can go to you can check it out. You can go to blackandtansportspod.com and then check out the events, and that'll bring you to their Eventbrite. Or you can go to lwingadorbrands.com, I believe. And when you go there, you can also find out all the information. So that way you can come out, listen. And if you want, it's a free event for people that are spectating. So if you want to come and meet Black and Tan and hang out a little bit with us, have a drink or two, just enjoy the festivities. We're going to be there. We'll be there earlier than 2:00.
What's more important is we're going to be there.
That's true.
You want to come out, hang out with some real champions, Black and Tan.
The champions of all champions.
In the flesh, not naked flesh, but just you can see.
I mean,
it's going to be.
We could probably make it happen if you wanted to, but
I mean, it costs $2, but
just a couple bucks,
a couple wings.
If you want to, maybe just a couple wings, depending on how hungry I am.
Dude, that El Wingador sauce is actually really good.
It's obvious I like to eat here. Come on, we're not fooling anybody. All right, come and hang out with us. Come say hi. We're gonna have the camera out. We're gonna be interviewing people on the spot. We're gonna be creating some content, and we want you to join us and just make everything great. So once again,
be a part of it.
Come be a part.
Be a part of the Black and Tan community.
That's it. The Wingador Wing Challenge. I want to see you guys there. All right. Well, I mean, without further ado, I feel like the only thing we have left to do right now is talk about Herb.
Well, the next thing, the most important thing we got to do is talk about Herb, Mr. Green. And his picks for last week, I mean, listen, like you said earlier, you gave up on betting with this guy, but he came through this week, went 5 for 5, bro. It's an amazing job.
He did go 5 for 5.
That was awesome.
But sometimes you just got a little.
And listen, we're not here to give you bets and picks. We're not endorsed by any of the betting platforms.
Yeah,
So if you lose your money, that's on you. We are not responsible in any way, shape, or form.
We're not telling you to bet this. We're just letting you.
Purposes only.
Yes, exactly. Entertainment purposes only. Listen, we ain't trying to get. So without further ado, let's let it drop.
Let's go.
Herbie's got his eye on the game, throwing naughty bets, never playing tame. A little unhinged, but he's here to play. Welcome to Herbie's Hail Marys today.
Mr. Green, back again. I finally did it. I went 5-0 last week. That makes it 11 weeks in a row. Let's get right into this week. My first game up is the Philadelphia Eagles. I know they had a really tough game last week against Carolina, but that was like a trap game. This week, they're actually playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's a really good defensive team. Pittsburgh is in a playoff hunt. They're coming to Philadelphia. I know all week long, it's been a lot of fighting going on, like in the locker room in Philadelphia, with A.J. Brown fighting with the quarterback. Coach got involved. Smith's a little upset. They're just complaining they're not getting the ball enough. They only have 2 losses. And one of the reasons why they're not getting the ball is because they have Barkley as a running back. He could run for like 100 yards a game with no problem whatsoever. And all they do is win. And they had the number 1 defense in the league. I just don't understand why they need to fight and complain why they're not getting the ball. Play team ball and stop fighting, and everything is going to be okay. I actually seen them winning this game 31-17. Next game up, I'm going to be back in the Buffalo Bills. They're coming off a really tough loss against the Rams last week. High-scoring game. Allen, the quarterback, really played really good. I think he had 3 throwing touchdowns and 3 running touchdowns. That's like 6 touchdowns just from him. I don't see them losing 2 games in a row. They're playing the Detroit Lions. Everybody thinks this is going to be a Super Bowl feature. I think Detroit's an overrated team. Buffalo is going to beat them this week. Next game up is the Denver Broncos. They're playing home. It's really tough to beat Denver in Denver. The Colts, really not a good team whatsoever. Really struggling with the quarterback situation. I think Richardson right now is the quarterback. They had Joe Flacco. I think they were really hoping Johnny U would come back and play for them. But even with Johnny U playing, I still don't see him beating the Denver Broncos this week. So back to Denver Broncos. Next game up will be San Diego Chargers. They had a really tough defeat last week playing Kansas City. They actually had Kansas City beat last week. Not sure if you stayed up Sunday night to watch it, but I did. Kansas City drove down the field with 2 seconds left. They lined up for a routine, field goal. Wasn't that routine, though. If you watched it, the guy kicked it, hit the goalpost. For some reason, it went through, though. And Kansas City ended up winning the game by 2 points. San Diego, really upset. Had a really tough week this week focusing. But they will come home and they will destroy. Just take San Diego. You won't lose on that one. And the last game up is going to be on Monday night. I'm going to be back in the Minnesota Vikings. That team's back on track now. They scored 42 points last week. Jefferson had a really great game, had 132 yards receiving. Sam Darnold threw for 347 yards and 5 touchdowns. They're really playing good ball right now. All right, this is the week I see Minnesota taking over first place. Take Minnesota Monday night, you'll win. Okay, guys, let's recap who I'm on this week. I'm actually taking the Philadelphia Eagles, the Buffalo Bills, the Denver Broncos, the San Diego Chargers, and the Minnesota Vikings. I will be going 5-0 again. Okay, I'm not sure what anybody has any plans for this Sunday coming up, but I will be in Philadelphia this week with Black and Tan. I'll be with Nick and Dwayne. We'll be covering the wing eating contest over at the Wells Fargo Center, D2. So if you want to come over and say hello, you can do that. We can talk about my picks, whatever. but I will be there with them guys. We teamed up with Bill Wingador and his team. Bill's actually going to be bringing back this wing bowl that we had. We haven't had all this excitement since 2017, but Bill's going to bring it back this year. It's going to be over at Cheerleaders this year, and it's going to be wing pole. But it's going to be a contest to get in. So if you guys think you are good eaters and you want to be the next wing pole champion, come on down Sunday over at the Wells Fargo Center. If you win, you're automatically in the contest at Cheerleaders February, the Friday before the Super Bowl. All right, have a great week. I'll talk to you later.
Herbie bets big, Herbie bets bold. Never play safe, let the dice roll. Wild predictions, no time to be wary. Get ready for Herbie's Hail Marys.
All right. Herbie,
This
thank you for
guy.
that.
This guy.
Listen, he had to bring up the love of his life, Joe Flacco. You understand that, right?
That's Uncle. That's Uncle Joe to you, Dwayne.
I'm sorry.
This guy. Here's the thing about her. For some reason, he can't say Dwayne. I don't understand. He never
He can't
always
say cheerleaders either.
Dwayne. He says he didn't say what's it? Who's the quarterback for the Vikings? Darnold.
Yeah.
He was like
Sam Darnold.
Dude,
Listen,
hey, Mr. Green.
everyone has their little faults, I guess.
Mr. Green.
whatever.
What are you talking about, buddy? But I do appreciate that the Wing Door Wing Challenge.
Yeah, it's a good
thing.
shot for that.
He will be with us. So like listen, I have a little bit of a secret though.
Okay.
Secret time. Okay?
Wait, is he bringing Joe Flacco or is he bringing one of the other ladies that he's in love with?
I don't know. But I mean, I would love for him to bring Joe Flacco. That'd be a great surprise. I mean, my
That'd be
surprise
cool.
isn't as good as that, but we're still
Alright.
working on that. Billy, come on, let's get it. So anyway, here's the secret. Here's secret time. If you
Uh-oh.
give Herb, we're saying couple shots of Fireball,
Yeah, that's his
he
thing.
turned into a different person.
Really? I have an ice cold bottle of Fireball in the freezer that I'm not ever going to touch. So I'll
That's
bring
because
that
you have
with
good
me.
taste.
Yeah, I'll bring that with me on Sunday, bro. Let's go. Let's get Herbie turned up, Mr.
We can
Green.
do it. We can do
All right,
it.
I'm with it. I'm with that. Let's go. Number one.
So that's
Number
you guys
one
do.
agenda on Saturday
soon?
and Sunday.
Bring some nice looking
Oh, what time is
chicas
the-
around him with some
What
with
time does
some
the event
Fireball.
start? We didn't talk about what time.
2
it started.
o'clock.
It's
2 o'clock.
So it's 2 o'clock on Sunday.
Yep.
2.5 hours prior to the Eagles Pittsburgh game.
Prior to the game. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir. So, but he did bring up a point that I wanted to bring up,
What's that?
and that was a little bit of this Eagles drama that's going on right now. For something we
Yeah.
honestly we don't need it.
No,
This team doesn't need this drama.
no.
And for me, I'm a huge fan of Brandon Graham, but it seemed very uncharacteristic of him to have to say something like that and expand on something that could have been something little. Because
Yeah.
if you look at last game, the game against the Panthers was arguably one of the worst games the Eagles have played all year.
Well, the
I think-
Panthers aren't scrubs either, but yes, you're right.
I know you've said that before, but you still have to look at their record, right?
Right.
I understand they may have lost a few things, but like I guess on the opposite end of the spectrum, we also have the Chiefs who have won how many games by like missed field goals,
Yeah,
just made field goals,
exactly.
this, that, and
Yeah.
the other.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying when it comes to that. But look at the record. They were 3-9,
yeah.
right? They're not a good team.
Right.
Okay.
But we were playing down to their caliber.
Well, that's something you never should do in history.
Right.
But I think that Jalen Hurts also probably had the worst game of his season as well against these guys.
Yeah.
And when you are not clicking and it's not running well, it becomes very reminiscent. It
Yeah.
becomes very reminiscent of
Of the
last
first two
season
games of the season.
as soon
the
as the
last season.
decline started,
Yeah.
when they start going on that losing streak.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I do not want to feel like I felt last year one more time
No, that was
at
painful.
any time. It
But
was
listen,
terrible.
I also have to say, AJ Brown, like he literally only had 4 targets, 4 catches for 43 yards. Like in a game like that, when we're playing against a team such as the Carolina Panthers, who, yes, their record is horrible, but they're not a slouch team in my book. You got to get a guy like AJ Brown in the mix. And I'll get into this a little bit later, but listen, he has every right to say something. I think it was in bad taste that he had to say something. I think Brandon Graham commenting on it was in bad taste. And, you're never going to get, obviously, it hurts to come out and just talk about it. He's like, everything's good. He's a monotone guy. But I just think that you're right, 100%. Bringing that negative energy into this stage of the game, in these last couple of weeks going into the playoffs, you don't need that animosity on the field or in the locker room. And I guess AJ Brown squashed it after the fact. I mean, his comment was basically,
well, I have the clip. I have the original. I have the original clip.
Okay, you have it. Okay.
I have the original clip of what Brandon Graham said on his podcast.
Okay.
But before I play that, we just have to bring up the point that I don't even think what AJ Brown said was particularly that bad. I think it was almost blown out of proportion. But
right, he only said one word. He just said receiving, passing, whatever. Yeah,
that's
passing.
it. When if you look at the game objectively, there was a huge issue with it.
Yeah,
he wasn't blaming one person, although I know it's one person. I guess he was
only
blaming
one guy
person.
passing the ball.
But yeah, you're right. You're right. There's no flea flickers. It's not college days. You're not running a Statue of Liberty play.
I mean, you can run it, but not every play.
Right. Teams do it. We're not Wildcat. It's like a whole bunch of things. But let's listen to what Brandon Graham actually said.
Let's go.
I don't know the whole story, but I know that one is trying. And I mean, 11 could be a little better with how he responds to things. And they was friends before this. It's like, man, but things have changed. And I understand that because life happens. But it's the business side that we have to make sure that we don't let the personal get in the way of the business. And that's what we got to do better as right now, because we know it's an issue. Everybody's seeing some things, but we need to be able to talk things out as men. You know what I'm saying? And
like that,
it's a little too
confusing. Much. Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, he said we all see what's going on.
He said a lot. He said a lot, right? He said that they aren't
too much.
He said, yeah, you don't ever. I heard LaShawn McCoy talk about this actually after. Yeah. And he was talking about how you don't let that leave the locker room.
Right.
It's not a good look, right? So you're on a team, you're the team that's arguably, I say that word so often.
Arguably.
But
it's appropriate. It's fine.
Could be the hottest team in the NFL.
Right.
They're on fire. They're killing every game. They came off. Listen, they won still. We're talking about a team that still won their last game, and this is how they're acting, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of like that a little bit too, because you can tell how fire they are and how well they want to do. But then you have an instance like this where Brandon Graham is essentially creating a meltdown. He's saying, not only is he saying that he's absolutely creating drama. Not only is he saying that that AJ Brown's upset with Jalen Hurts as a teammate,
right?
Personally,
right?
He's saying the same thing. There's so many levels that you should have never opened your mouth about, and it's very surprising to me because Brandon Graham is like he's like the leader. He's the smart guy on the team.
I feel like he should never have been in the position to speak on it. He should just said, listen, that's between, AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts, number 1, number 11. I think they talked about it after the fact, and I think everything's good. I don't know much about it, but I'm sure, whatever. Because after that comment, AJ Brown went on to say, BG, Big Graham, is being himself. He's emotional in that case. He just misspoke. Me and Jalen are good. So it's just BG.
Well, how do you start off a sentence? How does Brandon Graham start off the sentence with, I don't know everything that's going on, but then speak about things where it really seems like
everybody sees it. Yeah. That's a misleading kind of, Listen, listen, much love for Brandon Graham, but at the same time, like sometimes you just gotta keep your nose out the business. Like, what I mean? Like, hey man, if you say you don't know, say you don't know. You better. Sometimes things are better off left unsaid. You know what I mean? You saw what happened. Everybody saw what happened. You know what I mean? Let Jalen Hurts and let AJ Brown speak on it. Why? What gave you the right? What gave you the right to come out and speak on it without saying, I talked to both of them and everything's good. You know what I mean? Because they're both grown men. They can speak for themselves. They don't need you to speak on their behalf. So I mean, at that point, now you're even bringing more drama. It's like now people are like, oh, well, why is AJ Brown not really speaking on it? Why isn't Jalen Hurts saying anything? Why do you have to have BG come in and say something about the situation? He had nothing to do with it. You know what I mean?
Drop the hammer on that one, buddy.
Boom.
So, and then the next day, he kind of issued like an apology, right? He says, I might paraphrase a little bit, but first I want to start off by just apologizing to my guys. I was going to see them today anyway, but I want to start first here publicly since we was all here. I made the assumption. I didn't know all the details, and I still don't. Then why would you speak on it, buddy?
Right.
And I was just like, dang, I really just saw everything that y'all saw with the video, and I was just reacting to that, and I should have used a little more logic on it. It was more than just me just wanting people to pretty much win. I just want to win.
Yeah.
For me, everything I said I didn't want them to do, I did too. I want to own that. As always, we got to stand up through the good and the bad. Right now, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's a great thing because chaos definitely creates diamonds. Pressure makes diamonds. So you can't say in one breath, and again, he's being emotional, so he's not thinking about really what he's saying.
Yeah.
And again, I love the guy. This is not a slight on him. It's just him as a person.
But he's not owning up. Listen, he's
not really. You can't say
out apologizing, owning up to it, and then he says, well, what I did is going to create, diamonds. It's going to make everybody, come together and be better on the field. That doesn't how that work, bro.
You can't say that everything is okay, but then say that chaos creates diamonds. That doesn't.
Right.
Again,
Right.
He's contradicting himself a million different times.
I think
it's frustrating.
He needs
because
more media training before he gets behind the mic.
We don't want a meltdown like last season.
No.
We see a team that is in a great place to be able to win a Super Bowl this year. Okay, if they continue to play how they're playing, these distractions are not needed. They're not needed in the least bit. And here's another thing too. It doesn't need to be out in the open. It just doesn't need to be out there. So it's frustrating. It's very frustrating to know and see how that situation was dealt with, and
to his point, everyone can see that there's some frustration, obviously, by AJ Brown giving a one-word answer. Like, obviously he wanted to speak on it, but he's like, you know what, let me, sometimes saying less is more, and that's exactly what he did. And Brandon Graham expanding on those couple of words didn't make anything any better. But hopefully, obviously, Graham and AJ Brown and Hurts go way back, right? And they're homeboys. That's why he came to Eagles, because of Hurts. So, whatever Graham says that's fine, but I'm pretty sure that those two talked it out, worked it out, and everything's Ace Boon Coons right now. And they're going to go back.
Wait, what are they?
Oh, Ace Boon Coons. That's a whole that's a hood thing right there. Ace Boon Coon is, I can't really explain it. It's like
maybe someone in the comments, if somebody comments, they can.
So Ace Boon Coon is I think it's a term from like New York, like Harlem and stuff like that. So Ace, obviously number one, right? And then Boone, and then Coon, not raccoon, but the other derogatory term for black people.
Oh, so I can't say this word.
No.
So if I would have just repeated myself, not knowing what it meant, and repeated myself
before you listen, don't do a Brandon Graham. Don't do a Brandon Graham on this one, bro. Hit me up first. Be like, hey man, can I say Ace Boon Coon? No, you absolutely cannot say Ace Boon Coon. That's as bad as the hard R, bro. You just gotta I don't know why I said it, but it is what it is. I can say it, but don't be.
All right.
it.
Well, at least we've established the fact that you can say things that I can't, and I'm.
Listen, I won't. I try not to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want that for us, bro. I want us to be able to say whatever we want to say.
I like it. It's an interesting dynamic, though.
It
How
is.
could you not like it?
Ace Boon Coon is funny though. Not many people. I said it a couple of times before to people, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Never mind."
How do you go and explain that one?
Off air, yeah, it's easier to explain off air, depending on who I'm speaking to. I only say it around certain people, so it's one of those things. But like, if we weren't live broadcasting right now, we're just hanging out, having a couple beers, I would explain it to you in colorful language that you would appreciate. You know what I mean? But it gives you the understanding that it means that thing that you really can't come out and just say in a wrong. Wrong.
All right, so guys, so don't say what he just said. Anyway,
I'm not giving you a pass from Black and Tan. Let's say Ace Boon Coon. Don't bring it up.
Yeah, we're not giving out passes today, so
there's no passes.
But listen, regardless of whatever situation, we just need it just needs to. This is not about Ace Boon Coon. I just said it, didn't I?
Say what?
No, I did. I just said it.
I thought you said ice cream cone.
Yeah, I said ice cream cone.
I thought you said ice cream.
I can't believe I did that. Oh my god, I gotta edit that out.
I'll leave it in. It's too live. We're live right now. It's on video. You can't edit it out.
I wish I could.
Somebody's recording this live stream.
Yeah, now I'm screwed. I'm done.
That's all right. We're gonna get canceled before we get started.
Well,
because you had to yell Ace Boon Coon.
You started it, and then you went to explain it. It was a 5-minute explanation.
It was,
and then
but
I
I
lost
wanted to
my
be
train of
clear.
thought for 1 second, and for some reason I said it.
Listen, it happens. It's very contagious. It's a contagious phrase.
I know it is a good. I wish it was like a Caucasian version, or
I
tan.
wonder
I
if you
wish it
could
was a
say
tan
like.
version.
I wonder if like saying this ABC. It's like people say the N word,
Oh,
and you're
right,
not really saying it, but you're intending to say it.
right.
So if you said ABC,
Who knows?
you say Ace Boone Raccoon.
Listen, I'm staying away from it. I'm staying away from it completely. It's enough with this. It's enough. All right, I'm done with it. But listen, we need the Eagles to do better.
Yes,
we need you
absolutely.
not to implode. We need everything to happen.
I think they're going to be okay.
We need a Super Bowl.
I think they're going to be okay. I honestly, I don't see this as really big. I think the media is hyping it up more.
Unfortunately,
than it actually is.
Unfortunately, Sirianni's not a strong enough coach, in my opinion, for him to pull this together. Because if he could, he would have done it last season.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
digress.
I mean, listen, we'll see. Listen,
We'll
we got
see,
a couple more weeks of football left, so we'll see what happens. We'll see if
All right.
AJ Brown numbers ticks up, because it's going to be a topic of conversation next week anyway. This week against Pittsburgh Steelers anyway. We're going to talk about if AJ Brown's number is going to be up or not. So we'll see.
We'll see. He probably. I hope he will, because he's the best in the league.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Let's move on here. We're going to talk about. Let's talk about some of our. You want to go power rankings, or you want to go our fantasy picks? Your choice, Dwayne.
Let's do the fantasy picks, and then we'll end it with the
I like that.
power rankings.
I like that. So I guess with the fantasy picks, the first thing that we're gonna talk about is give me one second.
So worst, best, and upcoming picks this week. Basically, what we do is go around the league and look at certain players, and we try to figure out, if you're a fantasy football player and you have people you on your team and your league. And listen, we can't touch on everybody. Pause, but we can give you some kind of tips. And maybe you had these couple of people in your roster in your lineup, whether you should pick them, sit them, or who's the guy you can look at that you might want to start. You didn't think about starting last week. They might start this week. So we have a couple of picks for you, starting out with let's go. You can start first.
Fantasy crew, we got the best pick that's right for you. Start them strong, watch them shine. Top picks are winning sign. I contend the weekly plan dominates the league like only we can.
Listen,
I think
production levels is up, bro.
I think that this week's pick is in my opinion a little bit surprising.
Okay.
So it's Kyler Murray.
All right. Arizona Cardinals quarterback.
We don't like Kyler Murray. No one really does. But I think that this week, listen, he's been showing a lot of signs lately that he's returning to like the form he was a while ago.
Yeah, I was going to say he hasn't been the former Kyler Murray that he used to be. When he first came out, he was hot, and then something happened, and he's not being that guy again.
Right, and now he's facing a defense this week that's definitely struggled against mobile quarterbacks, and he's a dual threat. He can run the ball and he can throw the ball, and so I think he's going to exploit a matchup here, and then he's just more and more he's getting into the role more. There's more chemistry and there's more confidence with his receivers as well. So I think it's just a good matchup. Ranking low against quarterbacks. The defense ranks low against quarterbacks. There's the dual threat and just improved performance. So I think that for this week's best pick, I think your starter, if you have Kyler Murray on the roster, and again, if you don't know what you're doing by now, you're not in the playoffs anyway.
If your quarterback is on the bye this week and you somebody to pick up, you're not sure who to pick up, if somebody's not there to be able to grab them. I mean, I don't think many people may have Kyler Murray on their list to grab if their quarterback's on the bye this week. So grab him up. Do what you got to do.
Snatch him up.
All
right. So that's going to bring us.
All right. I want to bring you guys into the bum pick.
Hold on.
The bum pick.
Black and tan sports bum pick. Thought he'd be fire, but he's a flop. This week's bum pick gotta make it stop. Points are low and stats don't show. Drop them quick, it's time to go.
This week's bum pick is Kareem Hunt, running back for the Cleveland Browns. Listen, he's got a hell of a matchup this week, week 15. Who are they playing? I forget. My bad. I messed it all up. But anyway.
Already.
Yeah, it is what it is. Listen, if you got Kareem Hunt on your lineup, because Kareem Hunt was a great running back last year. He was killing it. And I think the problem is, he's on the Cleveland Browns, and the Cleveland Browns don't have a good front line. They don't have really a good offense at all. So they don't have any kind of dynamic to sit back and say, okay, we got some good receivers we can throw the ball to. I mean, Chubb is out, so we got to rely on Kareem Hunt. And they're looking at him. So he's really the only threat they have on offense. So defense is going to spot him out. They're going to spy on him to keep him contained. The defense they're playing against this week has allowed the fourth fewest rushing yards for running backs this season so far. And I mean, they don't again, back to their front line, they're inconsistent. They keep bringing people in and out. They don't have a consistent front line that works together, that's able to, make at least a surge forward to get at least a couple yards. So they find themselves a lot of times in long third down positions, and third and long, it's a passing down. And you don't have a quarterback get the ball down the field. You have receivers you can count on. So you're gonna try to rely on that running game. And again, with the running game, Kareem Hunt, he's a great running back. He doesn't have the accoutrement with him to make him perform at his best level. So, with that being said, if you have Kareem Hunt in your lineup this week, I would look to sit him and try to pick up someone else if you can.
Yeah. And Gorenda was our pick last week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But not as a bum pick. I just wanted to bring this up for random. He'd had a really good week last week. He was our starter. He was our starting pick guy.
Yeah, he was
because of Christian McCaffrey getting hurt and things
being
like
out.
that.
Yeah. He had a great game.
Oh, he did. He had a really good game.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess.
Real quick, off topic.
Sure.
You know who has a pretty? It makes me nervous. He has a pretty good running back now. The Dallas Cowboys. They started this guy on Sunday night, and I don't know if he's a rookie or not, but this dude was. I should have done more research on this, but this guy
probably.
I mean, listen, I do apologize, but last week against the Panthers, right? They're running back. Standings, players. We're going, whatever. I forget his name. But anyway, dude, this guy was running it up last week. Again, against the Panthers. So, they look good. But at the same time, it was like they, because they brought in Zeke. Zeke's a bum. He hasn't done anything. They started this new guy. And for the last couple of weeks, this guy's
been having a lot of issues with the office too, the office and things like that as well. Behind the scenes, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
They're not very happy with them.
Nope.
But, all right. Well, listen. You know what that brings up next?
Yes.
Black and Tan Sports looking for the player that no one sees. This week's sleeper is the one you need. Underdog rising, ready to shine. Pick 'em now. It's sleeper time.
Sleeper time.
Oh, the guy's name for the Cowboys was Rico Dowdle. Dowdle. He had 1831.
Yeah, he's pretty well known.
Yeah.
Dowdle.
Well,
yeah.
I never heard of him, and he was killing it last week. So,
well, good. So maybe this week he'll kill it too. But
listen,
as
he could
always,
be a sleeper pick. He could
as
be
always. Cowboys suck.
We'll give him 2 sleeper picks this week.
All right. Well, for this one, for mine at least,
for your sleeper pick,
your Cowboy, which you're awfully friendly about the Cowboys on this show,
and
it makes me a little upset. Yeah,
but
you talk a lot about them
because I don't like them. I try to be nice. This is part of my mantra.
You're overly nice because you feel like you're like overcompensating.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Fair enough. I get it. That makes sense.
Now you hate somebody, you still say hi to them. Yeah, that's how I am. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. It's a good point. So
what we got? Sleeper pick. It's on you.
What we got here is for our sleeper pick. We have Tank Dell, who is actually our sleeper pick before. It's not the first time. It's not the first time he's been a sleeper pick, but he's been pretty solid. He's been emerging obviously as a reliable target in the Texans offense, and with a favorable matchup against a defense that is vulnerable to wide receivers. So he's definitely got the potential to, I would say, bring in some significant fantasy points this week, and maybe not be somebody who's maybe your starter all that often. So
he still contributes to the offense. I mean, he didn't do too well last week. I guess what was it?
No.
He had 1 for 4, something like that. He didn't do well, but hey, listen, the guy, he's getting in the game. He's starting to get some looks. So, he might have a breakout game. You never know.
He's starting to get a little bit more of a rapport with the quarterback as well, it seems like.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, they're playing the Dolphins, so they're kind of
Yeah,
the
and
Dolphins are kind of a.
the Dolphins aren't that good, man.
I wish they were, because I do like them. Like, there's certain teams where like you want to see them do well.
Yeah.
You don't want to see them,
Absolutely.
beat our team, but you also want to you do want to see them do well. And I feel like the Dolphins are one of those, because I like the head coach, McDaniels. He's like goofy.
Yeah. He was like a nerd when he first got into the
I
league, and
know.
now he's all slagged out.
I
That's
know.
cool,
He's
though.
always hitting his vape pen on the sidelines. You notice that, dude? It's just bizarre.
That's got to be illegal, but whatever.
Oh, of course it is, dude.
Yeah. Well, listen, what are you gonna do?
Oh.
And like, you know what? I like Tyreek Hill as a running back. I was a running back, you know what I mean? So it's like you want to see, running backs do well. And Tyreek Hill did so well with the Chiefs. And even last year with the Dolphins, he did very well. And ever since he got locked up and had 25 kids on the offseason,
Herb.
I think all that sperm took out of him is he's not the cheater anymore. He's the cheater, not
He's
the
the cheater. He's the cheater.
He's the
Very
cheater.
true. So Tank Dell.
Tank Dell, let's get it.
Wide receiver, the Houston Texans.
That's a good
You know,
pick. That's a good pick.
You know what that means too.
Oh yeah, it's about that time.
It's about that time. So
It's about that time.
here it is.
Wines. Got the list. He's the one to trust. Power rankings here, no room for dust. Top teams rise and the best on display. Who's number one? Check Dwayne today.
Yeah. Back again. What's this? Week 15 in the house? Yeah, week 15. Top 5 power rankings. Start out with number 5, work our way to number 1. Number 5, holding down number 5 spot, Minnesota Vikings. Listen, the Vikings, they're on a what? Streak right now? 6 wins in a row. You know what I mean? They're doing pretty well. Sam Darnold threw for a career best 5 TDs against the Falcons. The run game bounced back in a big way. The Vikings had their first turnover-free game since October. That's huge. Turnovers are huge. It's the point where we should be thinking about the proper Darnold questions. Can he perform in the playoffs? Has actually turned into is Darnold? I can't even sound like her. Is Darnold in the MVP race? I don't know about the MVP race. I mean, that's a stretch, but it is what it is. I mean, the guy's doing pretty good. I mean, it's a shift, you know what I mean? If you consider thinking about how much money he could make as a free agent, whether they keep him for 2025. I think they brought in that guy, JJ McCarthy or something like that, coming off meniscus surgery. I don't know. McCarthy, I don't know. Listen, Darnold's hot. So I don't know, man. 11-2. I don't know about that. But listen, they're number 5 right now in the top 5 power rankings. Coming in number 4, sliding down from number 3 last week are the Buffalo Bills. I mean, they lost in Los Angeles, but I think it's boosted Josh Allen's MVP case. It's not hard to see why. Allen absolutely had an electric day on the 44-42 shootout, accounting for all 6 Bills touchdowns and nearly bringing the team all the way back from being down 17 in the fourth quarter. That's hard to do, man. 17 down in the fourth quarter to come back and almost win. Unfortunately, couldn't finish the job. But Allen gave the Bills a chance in a game where their defense was only able to produce 3 stops in 9 series without being able to come up with a turnover for the first time in a game since last season. So, their defense is spot on. Think about that. They had a turnover every game this season, and they couldn't get one last week. That's crazy. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. That loss was right up there with the Ravens loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, but it is what it is. I mean, listen, heading into another week, which could be another what they look at as a possible, Super Bowl prospect, with being the Buffalo Bills against the 12-1 Lions on Sunday. That's going to be a great game to check out. And what did Herb say? He bet on this game? Yeah, he picked the Bills. I'm picking the Lions for this game personally. Listen, again, this is all for fun and games. So if you want to take Herb's word or my word, Herb's taking the Bills. I'm taking the Lions. We're going to find out what happens on Monday or Tuesday about this one. Number 3 spot belongs this week to the Kansas City Chiefs. Listen, I like them. You can't not count for the Kansas City Chiefs, but at the same time, I mean, they barely beat the Chargers. They barely beat the Raiders. They barely beat the Panthers. They barely beat the Broncos. Like the game last week, they got a lucky field goal that actually hit the upright and bounced in. Come on. I mean, if you blame the refs and you say that you're getting cheated on, they're cheating and the refs are on their side, the ref can't control that lucky bounce. And I mean, I can't say what already been said, for the Chiefs. Listen, they find a way to win every week. Good for them. But you got to understand, too, I said it before, they are beatable. They're not winning with the pizzazz they used to have week to week, where they're just blowing people out last year and even the beginning of this year. Now, they're struggling against, under 500 teams every week, and they're fine, but they're finding ways to win, whether referees are stepping in, whether Mahomes is actually making great plays, or whether the kicker just gets a lucky bounce on a field goal. They're actually pulling out wins, and that's why they're leading in the league right now. Number 2, we'll bring them down from one spot from number 1 last week. Listen, Philadelphia Eagles, we struggled last week. And I think, it's a week in, week out thing where it's like we struggle to score in the first quarter. We've been outscored 59-17 in the first quarter year to date. But then when you look at this second, third, and fourth quarter going out, we're plus 150 point differential. I mean, that's something that we need to work on. And again, we touched on it earlier. We've got some controversy between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, but hopefully that gets worked out. It's not going to be an issue. Again, the Panthers aren't really a scrubby team, but, they gave us a good game. I mean, think about this, and I was looking to research this, and I just want to bring this up. Prior to they said after beating the Saints in week 9, they've lost to the Chiefs and Bucks by 3 points and lost to the Philadelphia Eagles by 6. So, I mean, you think about this, they're playing against top-notch teams, and they're actually, holding people accountable and making it like, it's a decent game. So, listen, coming in number 2 spot again is the Philadelphia Eagles. We got another game again. This is an interstate rivalry this weekend, which used to be the Steagles back before they split up and became the Steelers and the Eagles. So we're actually playing against ourselves, which is going to be a great game. It's just a nostalgic kind of game to be playing in. Hopefully, A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts get on the same track and have a better game, get some more of that passing game down, get back to that 50-50 run pass game that we so desperately need to get anywhere in the playoffs. And taking back over the number 1 spot, Detroit Lions. I mean, listen, these guys are good. They beat the Packers. They're playing. Listen, the Lions, what are you going to do? These guys, last year's season, they were phenomenal and everybody was nervous about them, but they figured, hey, you know what? They're going to come back this year, not going to be as good. And they're just basically doing their damn thing. Now, it came down to a game-winning field goal to get them to win because they almost lost 2 weeks in a row. But again, like the Chiefs, they're finding out a way to win, whether it's last minute, bad calls, no calls, or a field goal. They're getting the job done, and they're a force to be reckoned with. That's why they're my number 1 tough team this week in the NFL, Detroit Lions. It's going to be a great game. Again, against the Bills, we're back to forth. We got number 1 and number 2 picks. I'm sorry, 1 and 3 in my book playing each other. No, 1 and 4. 1 and 4, whatever. It's going to be a great game. And again, it's going to be great to have the Detroit Lions. I said this before, to be in the Super Bowl. I think they're going to get there, but not at our demise. Listen, if we got to get past the Detroit Lions, it's going to be going. It's going to be on. Are they in our division? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, that was my top 5 power rankings for Week 15 with Black and Tan Sports. I'm Dwayne Ross, Ace Boone Coon, and I'm out.
Dwayne's got the list, he's the one to trust. Power rankings here, no room for dust. Top teams rise and the best on display. Who's number 1? Check Dwayne today.
I had to add that in there. I don't know why. I think it's because we're live. I can't hear you, bro. Your mic is off.
Why'd you have to do that again? Why did you have to do that again?
Because I think you like it. I like watching your reaction. You're like,
Well,
whoa.
yeah. I'm like, oh my god, this guy said it again, and now it's just stuck in my brain, and now I might
We
say it
used
by
to-
accident.
We used to be a lot edgier. So
We were, and speaking in those terms, in the future we might release some of our older stuff as well, and we were a lot
under
dirtier.
under the name Black and Tan After Dark,
Yeah.
because it does get a little dark. Not Ace Boon Coon dark, but just dark, like
Just
conversation wise. That's
well,
too funny.
listen,
That's our
so
show, man.
as a reminder, you guys can please come out and see us on
Yeah,
Sunday,
man, we would love to see
2 to
people
3
show up. That'd be great.
for the for Wing Adores Wing Challenge. The
Lot
fine
D,
and
Wells
the
Fargo
next
Center.
Lot D in the Wells well, yeah, it's in the Wells Fargo lot.
Parking lot.
And D2, and just so you can come out and be part of the new and up and coming Wing Poll. We'd love to see you there, and we'd love to chat and just hang out. It'll be a great time.
Absolutely.
You'll see Mr. Green there will be there with us as well.
I'm gonna give him Fireball so you can actually see.
I'm telling you,
it's gonna be wild, I guess.
you're gonna get him. You're gonna get him in trouble probably.
Anyone that
Watch.
drinks Fireball's kind of wild. So
His
I'm
favorite,
excited
yeah.
for it.
All right, if you could guess, I think we already talked about this. Maybe. I hope you don't. I hope we didn't. If you could think what his go-to drink, you're gonna get a shot. Nick, what do you want a shot of? Oh, dude, just whiskey. What kind of whiskey? Bottom shelf, it don't matter to me.
Yeah.
I named my son Evan after Evan Williams. So
Wow.
true. It's true.
That,
It doesn't matter. That liquor might be
That's-
bottom shelf, my kid's top shelf. Come
all
on,
right,
you
it's
gotta say how you
kind
gotta
of
say
a
it.
diss, but
It's not. It's not
ever
at all.
listen. Don't ever tell your son you name
My
him
wife
Mr.
wouldn't let me name him Jameson.
ever.
because it
Jameson
was-
would have been a lot better.
Yes, but Jameson
There's too many
would have been a
kids named
trendy name,
Jameson.
and now
Yeah.
when I talk to my son's friends or we go to a party or something like that, if there's 6 boys there at this party,
Yeah.
4 of them are named Jameson.
Jameson.
So I do thankful for that. But anyway, so
All
he's,
right.
so
You could have
I don't
just
even know
not
where I was-
been
okay,
after a whiskey.
Nick,
but-
what do you want? What shot do you want? Oh, yeah, just give me a whiskey.
Yeah.
Okay, Dwayne, what do you want a shot of?
Tequila.
Tequila.
Espolòn. Yeah.
Tequila.
No bottom shelf shit though.
No, you like the good tequila, which is fine. And I actually enjoy drinking tequila with you because you have good choices in tequila.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
like a
pretty
tequila
good.
guy by any means. Like I said, whiskey is my default, my go-to.
Yeah.
But when I'm with Black, when I'm with Dwayne, we're
Yeah.
drinking
When
tequila.
when it's black and tan, we're doing tequila.
It is. You have to. It's just part of the vibe.
Yeah.
Now, Herb, Mr. Green, what do you want a shot of? We're across the bar. What do you want a shot of, Mr. Green?
Penicillin.
He might need that, but
After all that Taylor Swift poon he's getting.
right. So, what shot do you think he gets besides penicillin?
Besides Fireball, penicillin, Fireball. Oh, I bet he drinks Rumpelmans.
Did I tell you this before?
No, I don't think. For some reason, so you know why? You know why I say Rumpelmans? Because you said he likes Fireball, and people that drink Fireball, it's kind of that thing. I hang out with a guy. He owns Nick's Roast Beef, Joey, and when I go there and hang out with them, they only drink Rumpelmans. And he's like, here's 2
Because
shots.
they're 14-year-old girls, I guess.
No, he's a 60-year-old dude,
It's bizarre to me.
and I guess cold.
Sorry, shouts
If
to
you
Nick's
get
Roast
used
Beef.
to it.
I'm not taking shots at
No,
you.
no,
I
it's all
really
good, but
respect it.
listen, that Rumpelmans is actually good for some reason. But again, like you said, when you drink tequila with me, it's fun. Drinking Rumpelmans with them, it's fun. I like it. It's good. It's not like out of control, and I don't, get. Well, I mean, I get out of control, but it's not bad. It's not like the kind of, thing we used to do when we were younger. Because what I used to drink when I was younger too is Sambuca.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's like a peppermint kind of schnapps kind of thing. They're pretty good, but it has to be cold and on ice, and it turns white.
It's
Pause.
disgusting. Yeah, it's great. It's not.
Yeah,
It's
but
pretty
anyway,
gross. It
So
tastes like
Herb,
licorice.
so Herb is a
Herb's a Rumpelmints guy.
Rumpelmans guy. All right, well, listen, I got Fireball for him. You have to drink that. It's
Fireball and
free.
Rumpelmints, dude, and he's gonna have a great time.
Does he do like the Fireball with the
He does just Fireball, dude.
just straight up? He doesn't mix it with that other white cream.
His favorite beer of choice is Golden Monkey.
Golden Monkey's not bad. It's the IPA.
It's a
right?
strong. It's a strong
Yeah,
beer.
yeah.
It's like 12. It's
Well,
like
of
10%.
course. If
12%.
you're drinking shots of a Fireball. I'm sorry.
Ruppelmans.
I'm surprised he doesn't drink PBR
If you're drinking Fireball in one arm and washing it down with
with a golden
Ruppelmans
monkey.
in the other, you're one step away from drinking Goldschlager.
Yeah. Oh, I drank that too. Ugh, that's brutal. Never do that shit again.
With gold in it.
Yeah,
It's got
I saw a social media video. These guys bought a thing of Goldschlager and siphoned the gold out of it
They
and went
shifted
to
it.
take it back to the store to try to sell the gold to the. I was like, why would you? Because I guess somebody told me if you take the gold out of the bottle and sell it back to the jeweler, you can get like at least what you paid for the bottle for it. But they're like,
I'm telling you right now, they're not.
It's not.
That formula doesn't work for the company.
it
okay?
doesn't.
I
It
could have
doesn't.
told you. I could have told you you're not going to get it before you even did it.
Right. But listen, social media, people do what they do
All right, man. Listen,
for clicks.
as always, we're gonna end it on this note, talking about random liquors
Random stuff. This
that
is this
14-year-old
part of-
girls drink at middle school parties.
This,
I guess
this
when I
is
was in
what
middle
leads
school.
to. This is a toe dip into Black and Tan After Dark. This is how it starts.
Usually it
and
involves
then-
us drinking as well.
Yes. Yes.
So
And
that's
then
that's
it gets,
another part of it.
It gets very interesting in Black and Tan After Dark.
I got a little surprise on the way out here.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Got a little surprise for us to bring it down.
Is it R. Kelly? I Believe I Can Fly.
No,
Oh.
no, but I don't know. We have to talk about R. Kelly.
I got
I'm
to
sure
pee.
we have
That's
at some
why.
point.
I got to pee. That's why I brought it up.
But this is a little bit for Herb, another little Christmas anthem.
All
We're
right.
talking about this guy so much.
I love him.
All
This
right,
is my
listen,
favorite.
we love you guys.
Yeah,
We're
guys.
gonna
Thanks
leave
for
you out
hanging
with
out.
this. Adios.
See you next week. Or
Black
see you,
and
on,
Tan.
see you on Sunday.
See you
2 o'clock.
Sunday.
Lot D, Wells Fargo Center.
Bye.
Holla.
Grandma Millie packs a bag of Vikings jersey too. Said I'm headed to Philly, got some cheering to do. 81, the feisty, she's the queen of school. But the Eagles fans had beer bottles to throw. Oh, Grandma Millie, she don't take crap. If you throw a beer bottle, she throw it right back. The crowd was rowdy, the bottles took flight, but Millie stood her ground, she's ready to fight. She loves Taylor Swift, Mr. Green Country White. She called his old flame Lady Gaga to make sure she is alright. Hey, Mr. Green, please tell me if it's true. You are bringing Joe and Mike Flacco to Black and Tan with you. The crowd was rowdy, the bottles took flight, but Millie stood her ground, she's ready to fight. Hey, Mr. Green, please tell me if it's true. You are